All right, so let's get right to it. So here is from Thursday night on Fox News Channel. A reporter puts a microphone, is out with the peaceful protesters, and is speaking with, the guy's name is John Mohammed, and he is, well, here's what aired on Fox News.
Got John Mohammed with us tonight, a young man who is a city manager in a nearby town. 2 policemen shot 40 yards over there. Simple question, your reaction to that shooting?
I think it was a complete setup. I think it was a setup between members of the police fraternity, is what I like to call it. I think they operate just like the KKK. I think they did it to make themselves think they're the victim. When honestly the victim are black people. I think it's just a publicity stunt, no more than that.
So who shot the police?
I don't know. Maybe KKK. I don't know. They're brothers. I wouldn't know.
This was done to instigate, to throw a wrench into things. Why?
Because it puts them back in power and in control. It puts them back in a favor.
You have a pretty important position as a city manager. Do your constituents feel that way?
I'm not sure. I speak for myself. My constituents speak for themselves.
Do you think this thing's going to get bigger?
Absolutely.
Why is that?
Because nothing is going to die down. We have a motto, and it's called "We cannot stop." We can't stop now. We have to keep pushing this issue forward because this is a major problem that black men, black women are being shot down and killed by white police officers, sometimes black, because the problem is not always these white people. It is, but it's not.
When you say push forward, do you mean in a peaceful manner or any manner necessary?
Police can answer that question. I can't. Police can only answer that.
All right, that's enough.
You mean respond
that's good.
to force?
Okay, so that's John Mohammed of Uplands Park. According to that, he was the city administrator. He told the city manager. City manager. So Elliot Davis from Fox 2 News sees this. This was big. I saw it Friday after the show, actually, after I got finished with my Bill O'Reilly thing. And I thought to myself, I saw it, somebody showed it to me Friday afternoon. And I thought to myself, and I was just leaving the Bill O'Reilly segment where I said, it's basically black on black crime. And I thought to myself, this guy's the city manager for Uplands Park? Then over the weekend, Elliot Davis files this report.
What happened, John Mohammed identified himself as city manager of the tiny North County village of Uplands Park in that live interview on Fox last night, an interview that happened here in Ferguson. Well, today, Mohammed is feeling the backlash. Uplands Park has moved swiftly. Mohammed made those controversial comments after he was asked his reaction to the shooting of the 2 police officers in Ferguson. John Mohammed was interviewed by Fox News reporter Steve Harrigan last night in a live broadcast at the vigil in front of the Ferguson Police Department. He identified himself as city manager of the tiny North County community of Uplands Park, a title that insinuates one who runs the day-to-day operations of the city. Here's that Fox interview with Mohammed.
Simple question, your reaction to that shooting?
I think it was a complete setup. I think it was a setup between members of the police fraternity, is what I like to call it. I think they operate just like the KKK. I think they did it to make themselves think they're the victim. When honestly the victim are black people. I think it's just a publicity stunt, no more than that.
Uplands Park officials are furious at those comments. I caught up with the head of the Uplands Park Board of Trustees that runs the village. They say he's neither the city manager nor city administrator.
We don't agree with it here at Uplands Park. We have suspended John Mohammed. I was angry because he's actually hired as a village clerk, sir.
So he's not the city manager?
He's not at all, sir.
He's the city clerk?
He's a city clerk.
Is that a big official position?
No, not at all, sir.
This afternoon, I caught up with John Mohammed. Let me get your position in Upland Park.
I was a city administrator.
Okay, you're the city administrator in Upland Park? We talked to Upland Park's officials. They said you were just a clerk.
I'm not caught up on titles or anything like that. And my official title was city administrator. If he says clerk, then I guess it's clerk.
What does it say on your employment when you were hired? What does it say?
What does it say?
Yeah.
Employee.
It does it say city administrator?
It says employee.
Does it say city manager?
It says employee.
I questioned him about his remarks. So I'm asking you if you stand by your statements.
This is it. I think people had a misconception of what I said. I made a statement under the First Amendment of the Constitution. I have a freedom of speech. That's what I said.
Do you have any facts?
Do I have any facts? Somebody asked me my opinion. Opinion and fact is two different things.
The head of the St. Louis Police Officers Association takes a dim view of Muhammad's statements.
I believe in the First Amendment. I believe the right to freedom of speech, but there's a responsibility that goes with the words that come out of your mouth.
So right now, Muhammad has been suspended from his job in Uplands Park. The board is going to meet on Monday to decide whether to fire him. Live in Ferguson, I'm Elliot Davis, Fox 2 News.
All right, that was a report that Elliot Davis filed over the weekend. Now, it's my opinion. I don't need any facts to back it up. It's just my opinion. Okay, that's just, yeah. I understand you have a constitutional right to say anything you want, but at some point, if you're going to say, as a city employee of Uplands Park, you think the police officers shot themselves in the face to create some bad press for the protesters, that's a little out there. So you probably want some evidence, or at least please explain yourself. Now, the reason why Uplands Park is so upset, and the reason why all these is because that's the last thing Uplands Park needs right now is some more negative press, because Uplands Park and these people are fighting for their lives. Let's tell you about Uplands Park. Uplands Park is a population in the 2010 census of 445 people. It is 96% African American. It is the town size of Uplands Park is 0.07 square miles. 0.07 square miles. Its police force was dissolved in 2012. In 2013, in a town of 445 people, it wrote 1,800 tickets. The reason why the town disbanded the police force, well, it had 8 officers in 2012. One jailer there pled guilty to sexual assault. In 2011, an Uplands Park officer was sentenced to 25 years in prison on charges of robbing and sexually assaulting prostitutes. The town was accused of letting unlicensed officers patrol their streets. One auxiliary officer, who had a long history of arrests, hit and killed a woman during a high-speed chase. The city paid more than $3 million in a wrongful death suit. The city then contracted with nearby towns and the county for services. However, they have since had trouble keeping up with their payments. In 2013, Uplands Park, their residents were so upset with having to live under the oppressive rule of the Uplands Park government, including John Mohammed, the company he works for, the city he works for. They put on the ballot, they tried to get them to dissolve Uplands Park. 55% of the people voted in favor of doing away with Uplands Park. The only problem is you needed 60% of the vote. So Upland Park continues to abuse, continues to oppress, continues to take advantage of all of their citizens, including 95% of them who happen to be African American. So when St. Louis is perceived as a racist town because Ferguson's so terrible, they forget to mention Uplands Park and Syracuse Hills and this one and that one and Pine Lawn and all the other towns surrounding Ferguson. And so Uplands Park is upset because John Mohammed is now put Uplands Park on the radar screen. So when are they going to do something about Uplands Park? Somebody, please call me and explain to me why there should be an Uplands Park town. Why does that village need to exist? It exists just to oppress their citizens. And so while John Mohammed is going around explaining to people that the police shot themselves in the face, I would like to ask him a simple question. Why do you continue to work for a town in which keeps their own African American community oppressed? That is the definition of black-on-black crime, which is what I said to Bill O'Reilly's fill-in host on Friday. And yet somehow I'm the racist. 314-969-KTRS, 1-888-550-KTRS, or star KTRS. Those